Okay. Hey, what about the that PowerPoint thing? How do I get that on there?
Okay, here you go.
Okay. So yeah, here I am, Wally Wong, District Community Service Chair. Looking forward to working with everyone this year. And next page. So, being a vibrant club. What does it take to, be a vibrant club? You can see those things: engaging members, conducting meaningful projects, and trying new ideas. That's something that I believe in. Is community service is probably the heart and soul of each and every club, or it should be, because that's where we kind of gain members, keep members. And I think the best way to engage members is help them to be a part of each project that we have, help them to find value in what we're doing, and trying to communicate as much as we can about our projects, and what they mean to the community as well as to our club. Our role in the community service is, I think the best thing is to get a committee going. Once you get a committee going, you can get ideas from each and every one of your members, or people on the committee, as well as getting out there into the community and trying to fill voids out there, right? Help you identify needs, and help you develop projects. So there's a lot of needs out there, as we all know, especially after this pandemic. People are really out there desperate for help. So there's a lot of things that we can do, and engaging members, conducting meaningful projects. And one thing is trying new ideas, right? What you want to do is you don't want to be that member that sits there and says, oh, we never did that before, or we always did this every year. So always look at trying new projects, because I think there's great ways of trying to get out there and touching everybody's lives, because to engage your members, we just got to get them involved, and we can't get them involved if they don't feel connected to the project. So those are the things that as part of your service committee, we should be looking at how can we bring everybody in and work in everything that we want to do in the community. Responsibilities. I guess you guys can read through that. There's a whole bunch of things that we need to do. First of all, of course, training, right? Get to the district training, get online. Like they were mentioning right now with all these Zoom meetings and trainings, it's so much easier than before, right? Trying to get to a certain site, but now you can just get online. You can listen to the recordings. You can make your own Zoom meetings, and get people involved that way. Best thing is, like I'm doing now, trying to work with our district governor to plan projects. You should get involved with your president-elects and find out, what they want to do for the upcoming year. And then that way, you can try to lead your club into that direction, right? Trying to see, what touches their needs. Goals, plan your projects. Try to set goals for each and every one of your projects. Make sure you can measure it, if it's challenging, achievable, and impactful to your community, right? Who is responsible? That's the best thing. Try to delegate. Don't try to, if you're the community service chair or director of your club, don't try to take it in all by yourself. Put your committee together and try to find out who's passionate about all those different projects that you're planning. Because that's the best way to do it, is to delegate and have that person take care of it. And then setting timelines, when you want to get it done, what is it going to take to get it done, and what do you need to have to put it in place. Things, if you got to set up a budget, buy some products. We did backpacks for homeless people, so we got donations from members, as well as got a grant from our foundation to purchase items to, put in the backpacks, and then plan a date where we went out to pass out each and every one of those backpacks to the homeless people. And, try to, make adjustments. We were going to do it, that backpack project was going to be a one Wednesday night, and it ended up being 3 Wednesdays, because, we didn't really get 30 backpacks out in the first night. So, we just got to make adjustments and, try to see, what we can do to make it meaningful, not only to the people that we're sharing the projects with, but to our members themselves. Strategies, always good, develop a strategy. That's the best way of, keeping your members involved, right? Try to figure out, what does it take? It's not like my way or the highway anymore, but it's, I think community service is the best way, to get out there and, get people involved. So try to figure out what you want to do, why we're doing it, and share that information with your members. Community assessments, those are important too, because a lot of the times we're going out there thinking this is what the community needs, and it really isn't. Maybe there's other groups in the community that's already filling that need already. So it's always good to try to figure out what they need. A great way is to do an assessment, work with other people or groups in the community to find out what they're doing and what we can do together, and then focus your efforts and trying to figure out how we can manage our time better, right? Instead of trying to spinning our wheels, going over things that have already been done. And when we've done with the project, of course, celebrate it, recognize all the people involved, and share that information, not only with our club, but with other clubs, and see what we can do to try to share the different projects throughout our district as well as the world, right? And global grants, district designated fund grants, those are the things that we can apply for from our level, to try to see what we can do to raise funds to fund our projects. So those are kind of the things that we can work out with our president-elect, and as well as our district chairs or on the different committees that we have out there. So assessments, again, that's the best way to find out what is really needed in the community. And there's so many different ways of doing an assessment, right? It tries to help us to figure out what we need to do and what we have to do it with, right? If you're going to do a project and you don't have enough funding, or you don't have enough people or interests, it's going to be hard to get that project to be completed successfully. So community assessments is the best way to figure out what we're going to do out there. Types of assessments. Okay, so community meetings, if you can put together community meetings, asset inventory surveys, one of probably the easiest ways. You can send out those online surveys. We did a survey at one of our major fundraiser, the Brewfest. Everybody that came in filled out the survey before they got their drink tickets, right? So that was a good way to do it. We did one where before you got on the bus to get to our Brewfest, you checked off what do they think the needs were in the community. So it was a good way to get feedback at that time from people that were coming in to enjoy our Brewfest, as well as figure out we'll let them know that we're doing this Brewfest to raise funds to fund projects in our community. You can do interviews, focus groups, community mapping, so many different ways. And again, working with partners in the community, right? We have different Salvation Army, Hope Services, Catholic Charities, and Food Basket, all these different groups that we can work with to figure out where Rotary can come in to help and put the muscle where we need to put it. And then of course, community assessment tools too. You can get it online at rotary.org. Whatever you need is on rotary.org. It might take some time to look around to find it, but if you go to community services, you'll be able to pull up everything that you need and get as much information as you can, to try to form all the different projects that we're going to need out there. Breakout. Okay, what impactful project is your club doing? What impactful projects can we do? And what project partners can we include? I guess they can try to do that breakout session. Are you going to get into different rooms?
Wally, 10 minutes. Wally. Oops. Okay, so 10 minutes, everybody.
So how many breakout sessions do we have?
5. At 5.
5, okay. So I guess I can report back and some of the things that we did in our breakout. Arjun had a impactful project. There's so many, you can look at it so many different ways. You're saying, monetary, size, how many served or whatever. But, I think that impactful meaning comes, deep within each and every one of us, right? How is it impactful to, the person himself that's doing the project or part of that project? So, that was something that was brought up. And, for Arjun's, they did one at Alawai Elementary, lunch hour after pandemics, everybody spread out, not enough rooms. They built picnic tables for the school, which allowed the kids to be able to spread out and eat. And, what we learned from our meeting at the Hilo Club yesterday is that's one of the major things for kids, homeless kids especially, is eating at school, right? So that's impactful. That's great. Everybody does have their own. Waikiki did books for youths and gardens and things. So that's something impactful too, mainly with the kids, building a garden, being sustainable. That's something that we're going to look forward to this year also. Another one is, upcoming projects, for, one that, we're probably going to be looking at is the Olelo Exchange video contest, right? With Lila, probably we'll get more information from Lila and get that spread out through the district and see what we can do to, use that to help promote our projects with the youth, right? So something like that, came out of our meeting. And partnerships, right? Why Rotary, why our club, why now? We need to build partnerships with other people, or each other, and building relationships with each other. So that's what came out of our breakout session. Anybody else got some things to share from theirs?
I'd like to say something.
Go ahead, Robin.
We were talking about grants. Does people know more about that? I know it has to be in by August 1st, but I mean, can you do a number of projects with that grant money, or how does that work?
Okay, so the grant this year is due on June 15th because clubs need to get the monies earlier. And so the PEs got the allocation. There's a new form out on the district website. So you can do multiple projects with that money as long as you stick within your allocation. Okay, so room 1. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, one last question. Do I ask for the grant, or do I have somebody write the grant?
Talk to your PE, your president-elect. They would need to submit it. Okay. Okay, so room 1, Nestorio, who's speaking for your group?
Yeah, can I defer that to Lynn? Lynn, can you give a summary of what we have discussed?
Okay, so Mary talked about Upcountry Maui doing a keiki health fair for the Micronesian community. And let's see, with a lot of partners in it, Red Cross, giving vaccinations, first aid. Then they had a member who's a caterer. So they did 240 meals for people after Thanksgiving. So homeless people, people with mental health problems. The Hilo Club did, excuse me, meals to healthcare work or lunch for healthcare workers. And then Pearl Harbor painted the USS Missouri. Excuse me. Their interactors helped to paint the USS Missouri. And then she talked about a project where with their sister club in Hiroshima, they had a drawing contest about what the future would look like. Related to, well, kind of related to the events at Hiroshima. And so what would a bright future look like? Yeah. And then they had a contest. And then the Hiroshima Club and the Hawaii Club chose winners. The Hiroshima Club put all the drawings up at the Hiroshima Museum. And then 5 kids who won in Japan came to Hawaii. And then 3 kids who won in Hawaii went to Japan on Hiroshima Day. So it sounds like a chicken skin kind of event. Yeah.
Yeah, Lynn, which club was that?
Pearl Harbor did that.
That is an awesome project.
I know it is. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Room 2, Randy, someone speaking for your room?
Well, we volunteered Alan, but he can never figure out how to get off the mute. So I don't know if Alan, did you figure out how to get off the mute yet? I guess not. So I will just speak real briefly. You know, the first 2 groups, you know, spoke about a lot of the same things that we did. But Lahaina does a pretty neat thing when they sell Christmas trees every year, and they net about $15,000 for the club to be able to do things in the community from selling their trees. You know, and Pearl Harbor talked about, you know, a relatively small club, so you know they leverage partnering. You know, with other organizations, you know, like the food bank. And with other clubs and stuff too. So, you know, they're definitely, you know, moving in the direction that I would like to see, you know, a lot of clubs do as far as partnering together to make a bigger impact. You know, in the Hilo Bay Club, you know, Junichi brought up a good point. You know, they work with the food bank and stuff too, but brought up the point, you know, it was very important to wear your Rotary shirt. So, or your Rotary hat, so everybody knows that you know, it's Rotarians out there doing the you know, the legwork and doing all the efforts and everything. So I don't. Do we have anything else, Bruce, or anybody else that was on the team?
No, I think you covered it.
Okay, good. Room 3, Beth, Robin, Susan, Susie.
I think Susan should speak for us. They have a great project going, and it's coming up for next year. Go, Susan.
Okay. Oh, okay, and then Mark, you can tell your one. So it's, I think I shared this before, but we have a Paint the Town for Pahoa Revitalization in Puna, and it's collaborating with at least 2 other Hilo clubs. We've done the historical research on the buildings, so we can put a plaque on and honor if it was a tofu factory in 18, whatever. We've got a color palette that we've chosen for the town. We've gone around and spoke with all the different business owners to see what color palette they would like to have their building refreshed and repainted. And then we have also chosen a Hawaiian mele, a song, and we have a corner of the building for those that want to depict that will have an element like an ohia blossom or something, because it's a Pele chant seen this summer in Puna, and to be depicted. So there's a cultural, historical, and then a consistent theme aspect to refresh our town, to help revitalize our economy, and change sort of the negative imaging of Pahoa, and also, you know, support our recovery from our Kilauea eruption that we're coming on 4 years pretty soon. So it's going to happen from April through June, and we're welcoming all clubs and partnering with lots of different other organizations. So I think it's a great project. And Mark, maybe you could share your one.
Yeah, you know, I think somebody has already spoken about the Pacific Islanders project on Maui, so I won't mention that. You know, a couple of things Robin raised, Robin McCreary, question she raised. One had to do with liability, and she's saying, what if you're doing a project and you find out later that some damage was caused? If you're concerned about that, you can register your project with our insurance company. And if your venue requires insurance, you can make them a co-insured. So if you're not sure how to do that, check with the grants committee and we can help you with that. But that's one thing that came up that's worth knowing about. Also, Robin raised the question of, you know, is it all right if your venue is a church? And the answer to that is absolutely. You know, we are not allowed to advocate for a particular religion or a particular denomination. But if you're doing a project and your venue is a church parking lot, more power to you.
Thank you. Okay, one more room and then we have a few more slides that Wally wants to get through. So last room, Laura, who is in your room? Who's speaking? Liz, Della?
Muted, Laura. Laura, you're talking very, very well, but nobody can hear you.
That's usually a good thing for me, right? No, so Wally, I want to start off by saying that Ann and I were both really excited by the fact that of your survey for your fundraiser. So we're both going to steal that idea and conduct surveys at our fundraisers that are coming up very soon. So that's it. And we were thrilled to be joined by Valentina from Waikiki, who is a brand new member. So, you know, she was here and we already heard what Waikiki was doing. Della got to talk about the community gardens that are going on Maui. Obviously, Honolulu Club Centennial Park, if you haven't been down there to see it, it is absolutely gorgeous, and they are going to be looking for some help with keeping it maintained. And then it'll come to me in a second, right? Alan, thank you. I did one of those name things. Alan from Hickam Pearl Harbor, we were talking about the Kahuiki Center, village, which is still ongoing. And he was telling us that one of the buildings has now been converted to a teen center. What a great idea, so that they're now having activities for teens, and it really has become a village. So that's still one of my all-time favorite projects. East Honolulu is still continuing our Palolo School shoeboxes. And Liz Kane brought up the fact that, you know, when we're judging impact, Honolulu Sunset's been working with Jefferson Elementary School for 25 years. That's about how long our Palolo shoeboxes have gone on. So while they may seem like small projects that we're doing with some of these schools, the fact that they're continuing and have touched so many lives really does increase their impact. So I think, oh, and we didn't give Cindy a chance to talk. I'm so sorry, Cindy. If you want to unmute and say something, you can.
Terrific. That sounds great. Partnering, right? Project partners. Yeah, don't forget that. You know, get people involved within the community and all those, you know, other community service groups. You know, let's work together with them, you know, and power to serving more people through, more partnering. So I think that'll be great. Okay. So traditional days of service, of course, Rotary gives thanks last Saturday in November. Our club does Thanksgiving meals. You can do really anything that, we can give thanks to for, whatever project that we have in our community. It would be great, if we all work together with other clubs, to make some big impact in the lives of people this upcoming year. And then Rotarians at Work, the last Saturday in April, that's another time, that we'll be looking at, trying to work together with, partners in the community, as well as, different clubs. Let's get together and do some really big projects. Couple of the things that Randy wants to do this year is environmental projects, right? Beach cleanups, tree planting, building gardens, getting kids or the community involved in gardens. If we can do like a big, Rotary garden, community garden or something like that, that would be great. And of course, you gotta look into, what do we have available? Where can we do it? Who can we work with? I know Oahu, you were with the Kahuku Ranch, right? Planting trees over there. Kamehameha Schools, state of Hawaii, we can work with them to find places to plant trees or, build a garden, work with the county, to find places that we can help, with that effort, some kind of sustainable environmental project. Cleaning beaches, getting all the plastic out, right? So try to take a look at that when you guys go back to your clubs, work with your president-elects and your community service chairs, see what we can do to help make that a realization for this upcoming year. And, of course, publicize your projects, right? Public image, get that story on social media, right? Social media, if you guys still do a newspaper thing, do that, Facebook and all those other great things to, get it out to, the younger generation, because, they're trying to figure out how they can fit into, the community, right? What can they do to start giving back? I know they're just trying to find ways. And if, we let them know, we did some Facebook things for our cleanups, and, that brought in a lot of people that were interested in doing cleanups. So it's a good way to get the word out. And then, of course, if you got new members or possible new members, invite them to your projects, because, it's a fun way, to get to meet the members in your club, as well as, get some sweat equity, and everybody's working together, right? And foundation chairs, yeah, there we go. How do you get the money? Work with your president-elect. They got the budget for this year. They can tell you how much money we have to spend, what we need to do to double it, right? And, they can put in the grant application. And don't forget, because I've done this many times, is you got to do the closing report. So you got to get that in at the end of the year. Or the best time to do it is right when your project is over, get that, that final report in, so, you don't forget about it. But, that's, what we have. And hopefully, we can, get online to, get the word out to everybody. Rotary Club Central. That's one of the Rotary International. You can get online there, and then you input all the information about your project. You got, how many people, how much time, what is your project, impactful, things like that, if you need help, try to check with hopefully maybe your president-elect or, past president, and, or, get in touch with me, can help, walk you through it and get you online. And the best way to do it is just get online yourself and, try to press all those buttons, and then you figure out how to get there. Emergency plan, so I know that you talked about the insurance. There it is over there. Talk to your president-elect, because they get the, I guess the password to get in there to sign up for the emergency insurance. And it's easy, you just got to fill out a couple of the items and then send it through. And it's great having an emergency management plan. If you're going to go out in the forest, to plant, you want to make sure that everybody's safe, right? Main thing, if you're going outdoors or whatever you're going to do, just let your people know, bring your hat, sunscreen, water, or if you're going to provide lunch or whatever you need, have a, backup plan. Make sure you're in an area that, you can make an emergency phone call if you need to. Make sure it's secure. If you're taking kids along, make sure that, you're there to monitor them and, hopefully don't let them get in trouble or get lost somewhere. And if they come with you, they, should be going home with you, or, at least, if their parents come to pick them up, make sure that we know that they're leaving, right? And plan B, of course, always have a plan B. Sometimes you go out to do a job and, like we did a cleanup project. We planned for a cleanup project, and we went out there and the park was clean. So we ended up doing something else. So always have a back plan B, just to, keep your project moving forward and keep everybody interested in what we're doing. And, how are we going to determine which projects will have the greatest impact on the community? Anybody got an answer to that one?
Any of the other industries, but there is also a factor for
I guess we can do surveys, club assessments, things like that. That'll help us figure that out. Innovative ways to promote our club this year, social media, maybe we can do like one of those airplanes that drag the sign along in the back, that's, or, skywriting, with the plane and the smoke, something innovative, right? Think out of the box, there's many different ways you can do it. And type of projects are important to your club, and do they reflect your club's vision and culture? So that's something with your service community committee, get together with your president-elect, all the people involved in that committee, and, come up with great ideas, and, of course, partner and work with each other in our district and around the world. Other than that, anybody have any questions or concerns or anything? So we'll try to keep up, keep in touch with everyone.
Thank you.
I
And
have
then
a real quick question.
Yep.
Did anybody take notes? I realize you can't answer the phone when you're on Zoom. So anyways, did anybody take notes?
It's recorded, so hopefully they can have a place where you can rewatch it again.
I would love to rewatch it.
Where will that be?
So when you go to the homepage of the district, rotaryd5000.org, on the right hand side, there's all of the webinar recordings are in that link, and the PowerPoints will be up there as well. So just give us a couple of days to convert these videos, and we'll put it up. Okay, so we're out of time. So Randy, closing remarks, and then we can give Wally a hat.
Yeah, one last thing is hopefully what I want to do before Randy closes is I'll probably try to get in touch with your district chairs, and then maybe we can meet regularly and see where they are, and then we'll work together to move forward and make sure we're staying on course, right, Randy?
That's spot on. Couldn't have said it better, Wally. And I'll close this out really quick because I know we're at 12:06 or thereabouts. I just wanted to thank everybody again for coming out and spending their morning with us and stuff. Wally really captured it there. If you do have questions, the folks that spoke this morning, are all subject matter experts. So if you have questions, that wasn't addressed, and by all means, we didn't address all the questions and concerns and stuff that come up, reach out to these folks. And if you don't have their contact, everybody's got my contact information. Reach out to me and I'll put you in contact with them. And I would encourage you to engage your AGs if you've got questions or concerns and stuff. So they're in the loop, and they know how best to help out the clubs, in going forward. And together we can make a difference. Imagine, and together, we can make a difference. And again, thank you everybody for spending your Saturday morning with us. Aloha. Have a great weekend.
Aloha. Aloha, everyone.
Mahalo.
Thank you. Fantastic job, everybody.
you.
Great. Thanks. Good seeing you.